angry about the treatment. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
They was angry about.
They were angry about the whole process, the whole way, what he did, how he did it, and what he did to the girl after he has left with her. Let me see. Okay, I'm coming. I'm going down to verse
11.
Yeah, no, something in verse 20.
Verse 19 and then 20. No 19.
Yeah. Let's start from verse 19. You will see what I'm talking about now. I want you to read, please.
Tamar put ashes on her head and tore the ornate robe she was wearing. She put her hands on her head and went away. I'm going to go up a bit to 17.
Yes.
He called his personal servant and said, "Get this woman out of my sight," and bolt the door after her. So his servant put her out and bolted the door after her. She was wearing an ornate robe, for this was the kind of garment the virgin daughters of the king wore.
You see that he even sent her away.
Verse 15 says, then Amnon hated her with intense hatred. In fact, he hated her more than he had loved her. And Amnon said to her, "Get up and get out." Wow, that is big. That is big.
I'm with you.
Verse 16 says, "No," she said to him, "sending me away would be greater wrong than what you have already done to me."
Did you see the problem now? So it was not that he took her in that was a problem. The guy was wicked. Before he slept with her, the girl begged him he should not do it. He did it. Now he was sending her away. The girl was begging again. Don't do this. Okay, don't shake the buru. Now. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes,
so yes. There was no love. There was no feeling. The guy just wants. If you watch all these Asian things, that's how those things. Also about the culture. Sorry, pardon my word. That's how they live their life. So just be going. If you watch all these Yoruba things, they'll just see one fine girl that is going to the stream to fresh water. We'll just call it guard. One day, what's the next one? That was exactly what he did to that girl. I don't know if you're following what I'm saying now. So it wasn't because he said, okay, I love my sister, okay, I want to marry her. And then they look for a way to, speak to this one, and then they do the wedding. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Then we'll call that one love, at least. But this one, it was wickedness, it was selfishness, it was it was that. He said, I want to give room to other people to contribute, please. Because
I just want to read something here.
My mother is online here, so I know she's been following us. Mommy, God bless you.
When Mommy Ebete just intentionally join and she's on video like that, she is on fire and she wants to talk.
Yes.
But so, before Mommy talk, I'm just going to read something from my book on the mind. Because I believe all this is conceived from your mind. Amnon had this imagination. She had all this thinking. He had all pre-planned in his mind. The mind is defined as a set of cognitive faculties, including consciousness, perception, thinking, judgment, and memory. The mind is the faculty of a human being's reasoning and thought. And based on this, I strongly believe that people's beliefs are based on their knowledge, and it is this knowledge that determines one's character. For this reason, it is important to feed our minds with the right things, with the right information, with the right beliefs, with the right concepts, and the desire. The mind is complex by itself. It is easy to confuse reality from fiction. So 1 minute he believes he's in love, and then the next minute it's turned to lust. And that is why the Bible says in Romans 12:2, do not be shaped by this world. Instead, be changed within by a new way of thinking. Then you will be able to decide what God wants for you. And you'll be able to know what is good and pleasing to God and what is perfect. My English is too much for you, sir.
No, I just disagree.
Which part do you disagree with?
Now, I said it earlier. If it was that he has that feeling for this person, and then he wants her, are you following me? And then he went through the due process to have her. And then maybe later he realizes that, okay, I don't want this. And then he backed off. That's different though. So that's what I want us to understand. People fall out.
No. Everything you said is on point. What I'm saying is that I'm talking about his mind. He has conceived.
That's not his mind is voodoo from the beginning.
His mind is voodoo from the.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Our mind, that's where we have all the perception. Or the heart of a man is wicked, terribly wicked. The Bible says. It says who can understand it. So we also as human, I mean, anything can even come to your mind. But then before anything can come to your mind, what do you listen to? What do you feed your mind with?
Let me say this. On what you just let me say this. The man of God wanted something. He said, as long as you cannot stop birds from flying over your head, you will not be able to stop bad thoughts from coming to your mind. But the question is, are you going to feed on them? All of us, if they play what is going on in our heart on TV, voila, new. I watched a movie recently. So the movie is an American movie. It was about how some scientists were testing some drugs on some people, and then that medication was making people to have superpowers. Okay, now different people were having different superpowers. There were some who could fly, some who could even turn to fire. But there was this particular young man that his own superpower is that as long as he's beside you, whenever you want to talk, you'll be talking what you are thinking. And then
I think I know what I want to do for my Jesus.
Big Chief, please.
Asking God.
Are we still here?
We are here.
And then he begins to hear his own mother disown him. The mother came to see him in the hospital, and then they were like, okay, they are still trying to see what is wrong with him and all that. But while he was looking at the young man, everything he was thinking, the guy, he was saying it. Now, in this case, it's not like the guy will hear. You will say it to me. That's how the superpower works. Okay? So, wrong thought, evil thought comes to mind all the time. That's just the truth. The only thing that helps us overcome wrong thoughts coming to our mind too often is the place of the word of God. But again, we now have the power to continue that thought in our head. That's the one I'm saying. When anything evil comes to your mind, you have the power to continue that evil thing. Or not to continue it. That's the power. The devil does not have power to control that one.
And the ability and the power to even do that also has to do with what have you been feeding your mind with.
God bless you. So evil thought can come to your mind, but it's your own to kill it. When the Bible said our weapon of warfare are not carnal, but they are strong through God, breaking down every imagination. So when any event come and if you break it down, you stop it there. That's what the Bible teaches.
Now you've read in 1 Corinthians about love. I want to read something about lust.
Okay.
I've got here 3 stages of falling in love.
Okay.
Which is funny, but then the first one is lust.
Okay.
And like I said, lust can turn to love with time if we allow it. And that was why Tamar gave the opportunity that, listen, the deed is done already, but don't send me out. Do the right thing. So if there was genuine love in his heart, he would have gone ahead and said, okay, Father, I have committed a crime, but I'm willing to marry her. That would have been a different ballgame entirely. Now, lust is driven by the sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen. Testosterone is not confined only to men. It has also been shown to play a major role in the sex driven of women as well. And these hormones get you out looking for anything. Your eyes is there shopping. So it's not only men that shop, we women too, we know how to shop for good things. And at the second stage, Alagbasole, don't say anything. The second stage is attraction after lust. I mean, and then that has to do with what you see. Ah, this guy is handsome. Oh, this is a fine babe. What you see attracts, and then you begin, the testosterone begin to search for something, and there comes attraction. And this is the truly love-struck phase. When people fall in love, they can think of nothing else. They might even lose their appetite and need less sleep, preferring to spend hours at a time daydreaming about their new lover. And in the attraction stage, a group of neurotransmitters called monoamines play an important role. And that was why, like this person said, Amnon, he made to the point that he made himself sick, because why he was love struck.
He made himself sick. Not that he made him sick. He was living in pretense.
But he made himself sick. He did not eat. The pretend came later on, but he made himself sick. Because he was on this lust. I need to have this woman. I like this woman. I just must have her. I love her. To himself is I love.
Let me hand over to Mommy Ebete. She will continue from there. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you for your time. I'm going to read the third stage and then Mommy will come in. I've talked about lust. Ma?
I'm just observing this thing.
I know you cannot only observe, you go talk.
I am observing, no.
I looked at lust. And then the second stage, attraction.
You want me to start on that?
And then the third stage is attachment. The 3 stages of love. And this is what takes over after the attraction stage. If a relationship is going to last, people could not possibly say in the attraction stage forever. Otherwise, they will never get any work done. In the attraction stage, when they are just saying, I love you, Roma, all the hormones are flying everywhere and all that. Then after that stage comes the attachment. When you begin to merge together and sing together. And the attachment stage is longer lasting commitment and is the bond that keeps couples together when they go on to have children. Important in this stage are 2 hormones released by the nervous system, which are thought to play a role in social attachment. We have oxytocin, vasopressin. Oh, big English. Now on oxytocin, we have, this is released by the hypothalamus gland during childbirth and helps to breast express milk. And that's why when a mother is breastfeeding, they naturally have more bond with the child than the father, because this oxytocin is also released from a breastfeeding mother to the child. And that also helps them to bond. It is also released by both sexes during orgasm. And it is thought that it promotes bonding when adults are intimate. The theory goes that the more sex a couple has, the deeper their bond becomes. Mommy, is that true, ma? The more sex couples have, the more their intimacy deepens.
Depends what started it, actually. Because, yeah, at the end of it, it matters.
And then there's another level of attachment, which is the vasopressin, another important chemical in the long-term commitment stage. It is an important controller of the kidney, and its role in long-term relationship was discovered when scientists looked at the peripheral valve. Okay, enough of science. But the point I'm trying to achieve is this. The Bible and science has made us to realize that there is more to love and how we react to it. And many things are involved in it. Bottom line, we need to be very careful and be very patient when it comes to the matter of the heart. I'm going to close my book on that. Mommy, your take on Amnon and Tamar, love or lust?
I think it's lost, really. And it's, yeah, It's a strong sexual desire. I've had a man, well, I won't say, okay, when you are something like that from someone doesn't go to church who is not, who is non-Christian or something, then you were like, okay, yes, permissible, yeah, they can say, but for someone who is very stunned, you know, a stunned Christian will say, if I should lust over a woman, I must make sure that I have this or that with her. Only if I do not want to. See? So it's a strong and it's devilish. It's not nice at all. Especially the story the man of God just narrated to us. You see, after he's had everything that he wanted to have within, with the girl, he discarded her like a bag of pots. I think that was the worst anyone can feel. So, I don't know. I just don't want to we're talking about lost attachment, this and that. By the time, even if it's not lost, by the time you get to the attachment thing, then you still need, because in everything, when this story, it's not a relationship. We can't say we cannot treat it like a relationship between a husband
Two
and
people
wife.
that has consent.
Honestly, it's something.
This is pure rape.
Entirely, yeah.
It's
It's
rape.
something else. This one is no. You can't. There was no courtship. There was nothing. It was somebody that said no. They vowed that until I, and he got what he wanted, and he was like, okay, yeah, it's everything. Whatever is flying, the almost, the everything just So there are many of those out there. Sorry.
Now we have an understanding that, and I wasn't there, but we're just going to have a picture that the palace is big, and with different wives, everybody has their quarters. Yeah, this is their home, and with our children, and they all have their quarters like that. And when Amnon said to King David, let my sister come and cook for me, and I may watch her, and then I may eat from her hand. Even to me as a parent, that sounds funny. Why must it be your sister to cook for you before you can eat? I may watch her cook for me, and then I will eat from her hand. So if my sister doesn't cook for me, I won't recover, So as a parent, I'm seeing a little bit of negligence there. I don't know if mommy is saying it.
Yeah, this is palace full of how many children? Concubines, wives. Yeah. Well, like prophets rightly said, how things were seen that back in the days are not how they are perceived these days. There are some things that are happening now that might have happened in the days that we are thinking, oh my God. Oh, this uncle that will say, no, please let Bola bring the food. Let Bola bring the food to me in the room. And you won't know what they were doing to that child. Because she's been sworn to secrecy. You must not talk. If you talk, you die. Many children may have gone through all sort of abuse, that some might even think, oh no, if I should tell mom will kill me. If dad should know, dad will kill me. And they will not even believe the child. Because they will think, no, but that Sumaila cannot do that to that. No, it cannot. You see, It happens like that. So how they see things, those are, yeah, the brother and sister, cousins and cousins, yeah, it's okay. There's nothing bad in it.
The other one again I'm looking at is the sin of rape. Do I call it is that I'm just gonna call it is a sin and it's a rape because there's no consent, and Amnon is bigger and stronger than Tamar, so he forced himself on her, so it is rape. But then there's somebody else who's done something similar, who is their father David with Bathsheba.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and it's still the same sin that is being replayed upon in his own home now, and then he's losing control. So the sins of the father is being visited upon the son. And remember, there was a judgment that was passed upon David from the prophet, that because you have done this with Bathsheba's husband, you have killed the husband in war and taken his wife. For this reason, the sword will not depart from your home.
Yeah.
So we might say Amnon has done something terrible, but there is an authority here. There is a proclamation. There is a prophecy that is in place working to fulfill all righteousness, to fulfill the prophecy. Because when we now get to the point where Absalom took revenge and all that, it was something started it. And something brought all that anger and hatred in him, which is this sin. Because why? At the end of the day, this sin that has been committed against my sister, against my mother, as well against myself, has not been dealt with properly. So it's still the same sin. So what is the judgment or the pronouncement that's against someone that has brought about an activation of sin? So do we say Amnon was what's that word now? Was a scapegoat, or was unofficial passion from Babai or for the family?
This is why they say Oroluwa Ede.
How do we see that one in English? How do we break it down in English?
Maybe a Prophet Biodun might be able to.
He's invisible
in that.
But Olatunji, my professor, do you want to come in on the topic? And I don't know if it's a brother or sister, so it's cool. Anybody want to come in about concerning the story of Absalom? Okay, if there's none, let me see what's happening on Facebook. People on Facebook, any comments? So far, so good. People are watching and liking, and they are making notes. Okay, but one thing is certain, one thing we've all agreed on is that this is nothing but lust. There is no love in it. But I have a take even on that. If at the point, verse 7, David sent word, where is that verse I'm looking for? Verse 12. Tamar said to the brother, "No, my brother," she said to him, "don't force me. Such a thing should not be done in Israel. It's an abomination. Don't do this wicked thing. And what about me? Where could I get rid of my disgrace? And what about you? You will be like one of the wicked fools in Israel. Please speak to the king, and he will not keep me from being married to you." And even with all the plea, he did not listen. He did not hear. Nothing was sinking in his head. So how far was his mind So as a man, as a woman, we also need to learn self-control. Yeah, evil thoughts can come to our mind. This is happen. How do we process it? How do we work on these thoughts? And when caution comes, because these were strong words Tamar used here. Don't force me. Such an evil thing must not be done in Israel. This is a wicked thing. Even you as the man that you want to commit this crime, where are you going to run to? Where are you going to hide? People are going to call you a wicked fool. You'll be an embarrassment to the king and to the kingdom. And yet, it didn't move him. So what happened to his self-control? As a man, as a woman, we must have self-control. We must have self-control. Now, another thing I want to look at is the thin line between love and hatred. I want to understand more when, after all the drama has happened, but he refused to listen to her, and since he was stronger than she, he raped her. Even the Bible used the word, he raped her. End of story. Verse 15. Then Haman hated her with intense hatred. In fact, he hated her more than he had loved her. So I need people to unmute and help me out with this. How can you love somebody, either love or lust now, whatever we might want to call it? How can you love somebody so much, so intensely that you're ready to do anything just to get down with the person, and then instantly you hate the person, you are disgusted with the person's sight? What is happening here? What happened? On Facebook, if you want to type, somebody talk to me. What happened? How did you, from intense love to intense hatred? I need help here. Professor Lalekon. I have another professor here. Professor Jimo. Help me out. How can you love intensely and then hate intensely at the same time? Come on, people.
That sounds like oxymoron.
Mommy, I don't understand oxymoron. Well, break it down for me, ma.
Oxymoron, that's love and hate. You love at the same time you hate. Yeah. That's oxymoron. Don't let me go into that.
Because now this happened after, say, we might say, okay, like Apostle Sule said that he was disgusted with himself, he was disgusted with the whole act and everything. But then the Bible did not put it in those words. The Bible said he hated her straight up. But we might add, okay, maybe he was disgusted with himself, but that's not what the Bible says. The Bible did not say he was remorseful at any point. So we are just adding that, trying to understand the picture of what happened. But the fact that it says he hated her intensely, just like he loved her intensely, that is scary. And we see that happen also in marriages. When you love this woman so much, you love this man so much, and you get married, and you mean the world to each other. Everybody's like, I will love all this love in Tokyo. And you celebrate each other. And then something happens along the line. And then you hate the person so much. How do we explain this love that is jumping to hate? Is it that you really, really, really never loved the person in the first place? What went wrong? I need people to help me out. Brother Damilola Ogumake, thanks for joining. I need help. How do you love and then hate suddenly again? What happened in between the line? If you cannot talk where you are, please type. I want to read comments from other people. And the house is quiet on me tonight. Wonderful. Well, one thing again is this: love can become a fertile ground, for the emergence of hate. Hate can come in because there's love and everything is good and everything is just the way you want it to be. You are excited, there is attachment, whether there's attachment or not, but your hormones are everywhere and you're in a happy mood. But then that happy mood can also be a ground for hate to grow. Why is that? Because when you love somebody, you have expectations concerning them. They make you happy and you don't want anything to stop that happiness. So if something happens and you are not happy anymore, you are not excited anymore, or your expectations from them are not met, then disappointment begins to come in. From the disappointment, then anything can happen. When they hurt you, that also can bring about hatred. Loving and hating someone at the same time is not necessarily a contradiction, but it does create profound emotional dissonance. Hate can serve to preserve the closeness of a relationship, when other parts of communication are blocked. For instance, when couples are having a fallout and they're not communicating, they're not talking to each other, the love grew, and then you give room to love. Love comes on a daily basis with the things you do with each other. You, apart from all the first stage of lust and attraction, the attachment stage is that you choose to love the person and you put work into it on a daily basis, and the love continue to increase. You loving the person on a daily basis. Now, when there is something happens and hits at your heart big time, then that growth of love stops. So instead of you having the love growing on the ladder, it diminishes. It diminishes. So it's a love. It diminishes, gradually instead of growing. Now look at 2 Samuel 13. Then Haman hated her exceedingly, so that he hated her. So the greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. We've seen that in scripture. There's familiarity is the root of the closest friendship. We get used to each other, we are fond of each other, and then we do everything together. But when that closeness stops, when that bond is broken, then intense hatred can come in. Intense hatred can come in. So what am I saying? Even as we profess our love to our partners, to our lovers, to our wives, to our husbands, to our fiancé, we also need to be mindful of the fact that this person that loves me so much can also hate me so much. If I do not protect them, if I do not meet the expectation, if I stop loving them, if I hurt them, if I hurt them. Love and hate is also often described to be, to be diametrically opposed. In this case, it's a possibility. It's impossible to speak about hating the one we love without engaging in a logical contradiction. I mean, before you say I hate somebody you love and suddenly say I hate him or I hate her, you have logical reasons. This is the reason why I hate the person, because he did this to me, because she did that to me, because she said that to me. Something snapped in your mind. Something snapped in your heart. Now, for the case of Amnon, I'm not 100% sure, but it could be that now he has satisfied himself, the urge is not there, and he did not see the reason why he should even continue. So it's pure lust. For him, it was pure love. It wasn't even love. It was just pure lust. And all he wanted was just to get down with her, and it's done. And so she was nothing to her anymore. She was nothing to him anymore. And I've seen that play in real life. Bible is something that's happened so long ago, But I've seen it play in real life when somebody will say, well, I just love that girl. I want to be with that girl back in school. And after they've dated for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, you're just like, I don't want to see that girl anymore. And you wonder what happened. I mean, it took you maybe 3-6 months before the girl could say yes to you. And the girl says yes to you, and after 2 weeks, you don't want to see the girl anymore. Because you satisfy your lustful urge. But how do you differentiate between the lust and love? Because when you have these certain feelings and all, the only thing you think and you believe and you assume that is working through your system is love. So are you able to differentiate? Do you really love this person, or do you really like this person? Why do I want to get down with this person? Is it for the right reasons? Can you put some things in place and ask yourself some questions? If things should turn out this way, would I still like her? If after having kind of knowledge of her, will I still like her? Or him? If something has happened or something happened to her, would I still want to be with her? I'm going to read 1 or 2 things from my book again. I think that's page 55. Page 55. On different kind of love that we assume we have. I'm going to look at ways you can also help yourself to differentiate from and be able to help yourself to decide, do I really love this person? Or I'm just lusting after this person? There is what we call the love of the mind and the love of the heart. And from teachings and research, it's been made to understand that it's a love from the heart that is the genuine one, not the one from your mind. And I'll give maybe 3 examples. The love for the mind wants to possess. I want this person, wants to possess the person as a property, wants to keep the person, and does not want the person to have freedom, just to possess the person. That your love is based on your mind. But when the love is from your heart, research says the love of the heart wishes to liberate. Now, another one is the love of the mind feeds on judgment and comparison, while the love of the heart promotes healing and forgiveness. So the love you have for this person, or that you assume you have for this person, or is it based on your mind or on your heart? The love of the mind is dramatic, while the love of the heart is equanimous. The love of the mind only understands in terms of the material world, while the love of the heart is infinite and goes beyond love self, and from that self-love. So what is it? The love of the mind is all about superficial, the physical things and condition. I love you because you I could take you to bed. I love you because you're beautiful. I love you because you are educated. I love you because you're financially buoyant. There is a reason to it, material world. But the genuine love, you ask yourself, why do I even love this person? And you cannot actually put your finger to it, because it's beyond you. It's infinite, and it goes beyond self-love. So it's not just about you, not just about you or the material things. So these are a few things you can use to list yourself and check yourself. What kind of love do I have? Is it genuine love? Another one is the love of the mind can be indifferent and even cruel. So definitely that ain't love. While the love of the heart, it allows you to love others in deeper ways you or them have never felt before. It's deep. And that's why we say God is love, because you cannot understand God, you cannot comprehend God, but you so much believe in God. You hold on to God, you hope in God and everything. And so also when your love is genuine and is from your heart, even when the person upsets you or annoys you, you still hold on to that hope that this person can get better. I can't leave this person, because you love the person. It's infinite. If when people are telling you you're being stupid, can't you see this person is cheating you? Can't you do this? Can't you do that? Can't you leave this person alone? Yet you are still holding on to it. Because it's infinite, because it's deeper. And it's not just about you. It's not about self-love. It's deeper than that. The love of the mind wants you to stay small, while the love of the heart is always kind, it's compassionate. The love of the mind involves eros or sexual passion, while the love of the mind involves eros or sexual passion. It seems similar, but it's different. They both desire sex, yes. But then the reason behind it is it's not just about sex when it comes to the heart. The way you express it is different. Unlike you just want to have a kind of knowledge. The one of the heart is deeper. It's emotional. Your emotions are attached. Your essence is attached to it. And lastly, I'll read, the love of the mind can be unhealthy and associated with narcissism. You want to possess, you want to control, you want to manipulate. You want this person in your life. Oh, yes. But for the wrong reasons. You want to use them. But the love of the heart invites you to learn about sacred says. I invite you to learn, to understand, to grow together. The love of the heart wants you to build something together. The love of the heart liberates you, gives you freedom. So while you're loving, check yourself. How do you feel about this person? Tell yourself the truth. Save yourself a lot of trouble. Now, I believe what has happened between Amnon and Tamar was because of what David did with Bathsheba. So consequences of sin will play its role. So while we are lusting and we are loving, whichever category we might fall into, let us remember there will be consequences of every action we take. So yes, we've been able to conclude without any doubt that Amnon was just pure lust. And he paid a big price for that, which is life. Okay. But Jim, I think you are at work. If not, you will have spoken since. Pastor Sule is far away. Okay. Any other comment from Facebook? Okay. Thank you all for joining tonight. And I think we'll be wrapping it up here. Until in 2 weeks' time, we're coming back on Absalom. We're looking at the consequences of sin. We're looking at what could have been done better, what could have been avoided. We're looking at David, what David could have done, to avert things, the consequences of things that happen later on. So next week, we're probably going to conclude on Absalom. Beware of Absalom next week. T.Y., thanks for joining, but you're joining when we are wrapping up. God bless you, Mousa. So until we see in 2 weeks' time, God bless you and keep loving genuinely. Good night all.